Welcome back, Blue Level, everybody.
Welcome back. Good to see you.
We're carrying that on into book 3.
You know, maybe just this once. We'll see. Man, I don't ever know how I'm going to do this until I'm counting to 10 after we do our claps. Like, I have no clue ever how.
Story of my life.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live. Live and let fly.
There we go. All right.
Can't believe we haven't made that joke already.
I know.
For real. I'm thinking like, no, is this going to be a season 3 thing?
I wonder if we've been like subconsciously avoiding live and let fly because people are going to be like, oh, yeah, you do a live show with it.
No, don't
You just ruined it,
I was
Josh.
thinking that till you said it, Josh.
Everyone was thinking that. I promise you.
Listen,
No.
I'll go ahead and tell you. It's not going to happen. Okay? Not going to happen. I'm not going to do it.
So we can just use live and let fly, okay? Because it's just not going to
You
happen.
want to,
There
but
we
it
go.
will be a misnomer because, it's pre-recorded every
It's
time.
like a dwarf speed. It'll never change. I looked into the fleet this morning, and I was just, oh, shit, I can't change it.
Dude, that's insanity to me, man.
You know how you change it? Is you cut
Don't be a
off,
dwarf.
No, you cut off your legs and get some augmentations.
Yes.
You add the spider
That's what you
legs.
do.
Yep.
If you want to do that, I will house rule it, man.
Spider
Because
dwarf.
I don't
I
even think
find
you
the
have to
idea-
house rule it. I think that's like a legit workaround.
Just to be able to get
You
that
are
extra
changing
speed.
the
Not,
physical
though.
form.
I imagine
Like-
it being like human-sized legs with a dwarf body.
Well, let's
to
go
get that
ahead and
extra
cancel it now.
reach.
Let's wrap this up because I'm going to do my level up next time then. I'm not going to do it this time because these are all y'all just keep cooking, all right?
Yeah, keep on cooking. Yeah, no, I mean, I will allow that if you really want to. If you want to get chromed the fuck up,
We'll see. We'll see. All right.
time to chrome
like
up,
it.
choom.
Spider dwarf.
Go see a ripper,
Spider
man.
Dwarf.
Man.
It doesn't. It wouldn't increase your
Are you
your
serious?
movement speed. It would give you that 25 feet as a climb speed.
That's all it would do.
Yeah. Stay the same speed, but you could climb, bro.
So I just read Slow and Steady, or Slow but Steady. And I guess you've been wearing heavy armor, so you haven't been playing this wrong. But that's only if you're wearing heavy armor. Is your speed limited? Only that, or if you're encumbered. But
No, yeah. But it also says, I mean, so basically, if I was wearing light or no armor, I could grab fleet, and that would improve. That would change it.
Okay, so it's not like a permanent always dwarves
No, it's
only
not.
can move 20.
I had to double check
Okay.
and look at it, but yeah, I could get fleet, but I'm wearing heavy armor right now, which I need to change.
Okay, I thought it was like, regardless of what armor you wore, your speed could never increase beyond 20 feet. I think that's what the text says.
See, that's what
something
I thought,
about
too. That's
your
why I
speed
looked.
could never increase beyond 20 feet.
it never
yeah.
says that. It
does.
Exactly.
No, it says dwarves have a land speed of 20 feet, which is never modified when they are encumbered or wearing heavy armor.
Yeah, is never modified is the important part of that text that I was referencing, even though I wasn't
would
using
say
the exact
that the
terminology.
more
The
important
important part of the text is when they are encumbered or wearing heavy armor.
It's that qualifier.
Yeah.
That is the hang up. That yeah.
You know how I messaged you earlier, Zach, about an interpretation of a text? That's
Yes.
what it was about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we could have resolved that, but John was like, "Can I ask you your opinion about the interpretation of a rule?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, absolutely." And he's like, "Never mind, answer it myself." I was like, "Too easy, man."
Yeah.
Come at me when you got a hard one, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Give me something difficult next time. Shit.
No stress in here, man.
I was ready to roll. What's been up, guys? Y'all have a good Halloween? Did you do anything for Halloween? I didn't.
I didn't do anything for Halloween Day, no. Did not.
I went to a friend's house and watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, nice.
A.
I love
I've
that.
seen it a number of times, but I absolutely love it.
It's always,
it's-
always good for a rewatch.
Yeah, it was his wife and my girlfriend's first time seeing it, so it was fun to watch vicariously through them.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Did y'all ever watch the Ernest Scared Stupid
Oh,
movie?
definitely.
It honestly felt like that at times. Like this is like the third or fourth time I've seen it.
Tucker and Dale reminds me of.
Yeah.
Okay, so fun fact about that. I haven't actually seen Ernest Scared Stupid, but I found out recently because I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Nice.
Also
Another
great one.
classic.
Yes.
They use some of the clown masks from Killer Clowns. They remodeled them
Ernest
for
Scared
that as
Stupid.
troll masks, I guess. I think that's
That's
what
cool.
it is.
Trolls.
So yeah. Yeah. Nah, nah, nah.
I watched
Have
the
you
thing
guys-
1 and 2. So
Have you guys
Oh.
seen how John Cena has been slowly evolving into Ernest?
No.
Kind
The
of.
older he's gotten,
He
he
looks
looks
more
more
like
and more
Ernest.
like Ernest. Yeah.
oh no.
I was really thinking about doing like a joke about no one can see him, but I didn't until
You
now.
know what? You know what I found out the other day? This is vaguely Halloween related since it pertains to monsters in movies. The guy who was the fish man in both Hellboy and Shape of Water. Okay, both.
His name is Doug Jones.
Doug Jones
It's awesome.
is also Baron Afanyas in What We Do in the Shadows, dude.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Doug Jones is amazing.
Dude
I
is
love
like
him.
Yeah.
always in costume design. Like you see.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
in
yeah.
costume
He's
He is
never
a-
in like.
he's a-
time. Yeah.
Character, creature, actor.
He really
Right.
is. Yeah. He's
It's
in
like
so much
Tim
stuff.
Curry, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think he's fucking hilarious as
Yeah.
Baron Afanyas in What We Do in the Shadows, which you would know, John, if you watched What We Do in the Shadows, because there's no reason you wouldn't like it, regardless of what your preconceptions are at present.
Oh, damn. Coming in hot.
No, dude, that's just his
I got
normal.
nothing to say.
That's
I
just
got
his
no
normal
retort
baseline.
to that.
That's my,
I
that's my
got no
baseline,
retort.
dude.
You're the one that's
You're
too
coming a
sensitive.
little- you're
You're the
pretty
one that's too
sensitive right now.
sensitive to his
Yeah.
totally normal tone.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get HR about this. This is
Where's the lie,
much. I
though?
can't
Like,
handle
what
it.
was
I can't handle
what was
it.
factually incorrect? Would John not love What We Do in the Shadows if he actually gave it a legit chance?
I don't know what John
think
would like
so.
anymore. I give
But
up.
I don't even know.
good.
Okay, well, wait a minute, John. You did it. You became inscrutable to one of your best friends. Nailed it.
I just got to give it a shot. I don't put effort into shows, really. I guess I don't know. I can't
Yeah,
give
you
you
do.
a reason.
That's yeah, you
Such
do.
a fucking lie.
That was a lie. That was a lie.
Motherfucker,
That was
me and you have
100%
been
a lie.
messaging for days about watching Pluto. Get out of here.
It's just
Okay,
whatever,
you
man.
ain't got to tell
Whatever,
everything,
man.
Heath.
You put yourself in this hole, John. You did not get.
We are literally watching a show together right now.
No, we are not. No, we are not. We're not watching it together.
Not
talking
literally
about
right
it.
this second.
Yeah, we are talking about it.
What were you going to say,
You're
Heath,
putting
about
some
Doug
effort in
Jones?
it. I didn't realize that he was the Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like,
Yes, he
Creepiest
is.
thing in
So,
Pan's
pretty
pretty
much-
sure Del Toro
If-
just uses him for.
If
For
you
all
see
weird stuff,
like
yeah.
a character actor
Isn't he
that
also
does
Shape
some
of
really
Water?
interesting, yes,
Yeah.
interesting like body movement, like that's probably him, or they
Andy
probably
Serkis. Or
Or
learned,
Andy Serkis.
yeah, or Andy Serkis,
Yeah.
or they probably learned from those two. Like,
Yeah.
like-
That's their hero. One of those guys.
It's the Ministry of Silly Body Movement, So
Doug Jones is also in Mystery Men for about 2 seconds.
Is it?
Yeah, he's Pencil Man.
Of course he is.
of course he is. That's of course.
Oh,
Sorry,
he
these
was,
are just
he was-
things I know.
he was Billy Butcherson in Hocus Pocus, the zombie dude.
Yep. Yep.
See, I bet he's the Slender Man for the Slender movie.
I mean,
Well, I bet
is,
very
is that a
similar.
Slender
he
movie?
is. I'm saying I bet he is.
That would track. Yeah, sure. I'm into
Right.
it. I'd watch it.
I think it's wild that you were just like, oh yeah, Doug Jones, of course. Like I had never heard this dude's name. You know what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
He's that good of an actor.
I just hadn't. I mean, obviously I've seen him in multiple things, but it when you're in the kind of makeup that he gets in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not exactly that he's
You
not
don't recognize his face.
recognizable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't
Damn.
recognize him, you recognize his movements.
He was the Fawn too.
Yeah.
He was everybody in that
Baby,
movie.
He
he's
is
the
like-
character actor. Like that's him.
dude is
in
like-
him.
I'd say it's more creature actor than character
Yeah,
actor.
Creature actor, yeah.
For real.
Humanoid creature actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Apparently he's prolific.
Yes.
He's also the Silver Surfer in one of the many terrible Fantastic Four movies.
Wait, is there a
pick
good?
one.
No, there's not a good.
There's
one.
not a good one. No.
There's never been a good Fantastic
There's a
Four
good
movie.
Doc-
I wonder why can they not do Fantastic
I
Four?
think I have theories on this, and it's because I think the
make a
time has
Dr. Doom
passed. Like I just think
it's too
Fantastic
cheesy.
Four is like too old fashioned and cheesy.
Yeah.
Like
Kinda is.
it comes off as too campy. Even in a world saturated with superheroes, it's like, oh, that's your granddad shit. You know?
So could somebody take it and kind of like Evil Dead it, like super campify, like lean
Guillermo
in
del
on
Toro.
Yeah,
It? Wow. Okay.
I would
Bring back Doug Jones. You know?
Bring back. He ain't
Yeah.
going nowhere.
He'll play
He's still
everyone.
working,
He'll
but-
play everyone.
Doug Jones as the Fantastic Four.
He'll do like it's like the Nutty Professor, but with the Fantastic Four.
Doug Jones in and as
I-
the Fantastic Four.
I would hazard to say that they
I
already
watched that
have
fucking movie.
redone the Fantastic Four and called it The Incredibles.
You know what? For real, that absolutely, Josh. Absolutely.
and made it a children's comedy movie to
I mean,
make
they're
it
good,
more
though.
relatable. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not good. The Incredibles are awesome, but it's like you're not trying to go and watch, like have, teenagers and adults go watch The Incredibles. It's a children's market. You know?
Everything
Well,
is children.
when
about
we hit
that
it big
except-
and we get the live action adaptation of both APA and Live and Let Fly, we'll get Doug Jones to do a lot of our mocap work for.
fantastic.
I don't think you understand how
STF
much I
for
want
sure.
that.
Yeah,
So-
his team for sure.
He's gonna be half red.
So here's the thing. He doesn't necessarily
That's a bit part.
From
That's
what I
easy.
can tell, he doesn't really do mocap. It's like it's all prosthetics.
He's in there, yeah.
the costume.
He's
Yeah,
in
so saying
there.
mocap kind of undersells what
Okay,
he does.
all right.
I'd
Well,
say Andy Circus is more mocap.
well,
They
we'll
coated
get
him
Andy
with
Serkis for the
molten
mocap,
silver.
and we'll get Doug Jones for the
silver
those
thing.
suits.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow,
Is
I'm
everybody
so
good?
excited. I'm
Everybody good
super
with that?
excited.
Is
Yeah.
that sufficient for everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
So he would play
Yes.
Roland, Gadrick, and Tia for sure. He'd have to.
Anyway, I think we're not supposed to discuss. Yeah, isn't that the thing? Isn't that some bullshit thing
Yeah,
now? Where
it
it's
is
like,
some bullshit thing.
yeah. Okay.
What? We're not supposed to discuss Doug Jones?
Or
No,
we're not
no,
supposed to
So,
Claim
To
that an
quote
actor's
cast
claim
people.
actor's likeness for your.
Oh, well, I'm
that's-
not claiming
here's
them.
the
We're
thing.
saying if this theoretical project ever happened,
It would be neat.
it would be an ideal casting.
And on top of that, you're not claiming his likeness at all because look at all
Yeah.
the characters he's played.
He don't look like nobody, and he looks like
What
everybody.
he looks like, honestly, I have no clue.
I think in this case,
I
the
think
powers
Doug
that
Jones
be-
should be unsuable.
All right. Anyway, so we may or may not get someone who may or may not be named Doug Jones, no relation to the real actor Doug Jones, to do live action work in the live action Live and Let Fly. There you go.
That's a solid plan. I like
Okay.
it.
Is that
All right, I'm
enough
sticking
legal
it to you, man.
deniability,
All right.
Adam?
Yep.
Is that sufficient?
it's fine. I don't care.
Okay. All right. So, what happened last time on Live and Let Fly, guys? It's been a hot minute since we played. I sort of forgot.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
We were making a
paid.
delivery. We were making a delivery of chocolates
Something
and
went
flowers.
wrong.
Y'all
to
heard
the
Barry.
Sweetheart Planet.
We got
Everything
paid.
was
That's
fine.
all that matters.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got paid.
Okay.
We're
They
not.
paid $100,000 or credits.
All right. Well, I'm
And
actually.
now
We
Zach's
got-
going to take it away.
We got kicked out of the party.
Yeah.
We got kicked out of the Vescarian.
They didn't like us.
Man, I'm still over here just imagining Doug Jones like a Pokemon. Doug Jones.
Doug Jones. Doug Jones.
Ah,
Doug.
Okay. So, you are on the Independence, okay? You have been requested to leave Tranquility Airspace now, okay? Now.
we'll
Get
see
out
ya.
of here.
Yep. So you get on the ship, you fire it up. I am very curious because your characters were not given a chance to speak. Okay. The cigar smoking vest made it very clear that he did not need your input on anything that he had to say. So I am very, very, very exceedingly curious what the sort of like hot wash or the the debrief looks like on the bridge of the Independence right now.
Is that a popular term?
Yeah, I was like, is
hot
that
wash?
like
Hot wash?
Is that
yeah,
the
yeah,
Is that a thing?
yeah, 100%.
I'm just unfamiliar.
yeah?
yeah. We use
Sound
it.
like a whore's bath to me.
We use a hot wash. When we conduct exercises at work, right? As in like a full scale, drill sort of thing, right? Simulated scenario. The hot wash.
It's after actions.
It's after action. It's
There
the
you go.
immediate
There you
after
go.
action. It's not like we've written down all of our notes and presented this in this nice format. It's just like, okay, exercise is over. Evaluators, what did you think? Players, what did you think?
Prior to listening.
Controllers, what did you think? And so that's what we call a hot wash. So that's why I use the term, because this is immediately after this thing happened. So I think it's a very, very fitting term. Anyway, we're on the bridge of the Independence. What's going on?
Hell, can you believe that? We
not-
fucking survived, y'all.
Yes, we did. That was something, to be sure.
Something. That big scaly fucking bastard over there just let us go.
Easy. I don't know if we're supposed to talk about that.
Also, like he can
Who's
still
gonna
hear
fucking
you.
believe us? Who's gonna believe us, Getty? Can you believe it? I can't fucking believe it. Not right now.
No.
Like, we're on our ship, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
on your ship.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
clarification's sake, you can certainly discuss the events that have just occurred amongst yourselves.
I know that. Gadrick
Okay.
is not too sure how he feels about
Sure. Okay.
talking
Yeah.
about
Say your
it.
piece,
'cause
man. Say your
understand.
piece.
Yeah.
I already did.
Morgan is kind of like looking around the bridge and just kind of like, they have no real technical prowess. They don't know computers, but also just kind of like looking around, like maybe seeing if there's bugs. And there's like, it's like, who's to say what D9 has done to keep an eye on us?
I feel like,
What's that supposed to mean?
I feel like Vincent would have picked up on Morgan's kind of like looking around and everything, and just kind of like his skin just goes ashen gray for a second. Holy shit! Yeah, like there's fucking bugs. It was, there's fucking bugs. I mean, there's fucking bugs.
Everybody, calm down.
This feels sensitive.
Yes, that vest. That vest.
Oh my God. Just got that. Sorry, Tia.
Yeah, like we have to be able to talk about bugs in that way, Heath.
I don't have to do a fucking thing.
Everybody, just calm down a minute. That Vesca out there did tell us that we can't speak of this to anyone, but we can certainly speak among ourselves. This is our ship, after all. I do think that a sweep for bugs is good, although we did do that not too long ago. I suppose it's always good to do another check, but how are all of you? We can't just pretend like this didn't happen, and I'm not going to be cowed on our own ship.
Right. So that's the next action, then, Captain.
Well, I think that we should leave this star space as soon as we can.
Already on it. And Gadrick is in the process, as you were speaking, was getting in the process of getting in the pilot seat and getting leaving,
Turn the ignition,
doing
press the gas
just
pedal.
just going and looking for a destination. There
Just
we
take
go.
us to orbit right now, so we're at least outside of the Tranquility airspace.
Yeah.
We'll need to
Yeah.
we'll need to compose a message to Tarika at some point, and perhaps with our newfound funds, we might be interested in gearing up while we can. I don't know where we're going next, and I would like some time to think of that. But for now, I want all of you to take a breath and take a beat and process what has just happened to us and to our friends. So to go ahead and take us out of airspace so we don't get shot up by whoever these Vesk are. Did we get our friends out, or they said they were going to take care of their friends, right?
They have to be deprogrammed first.
Right. So they got that. Yeah. So we're out. We're out like shell.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Winterborn crew? Do we see them take off too?
They will be a few minutes behind you because, as you heard, he wanted to discuss with them. He wanted to get to the bottom of what's going on with Agavana.
So Gadrick, hold our position just until we can be sure that the Winterborn is cleared as well.
And hold them, and I'm going to track and put them up on that screen for you.
All right, let's all just retire to the galley and just collect our breaths and regroup. Yes?
Yes, Captain, yes.
Yeah, as y'all starting to make your way to the galley, I'm curious, beyond, I'm sure there's a certain amount that you're willing to share with each other, but just what's going through your heads internally, individually, right? We'll start with you, Cap. What did you think about? Where's Captain's head at right now?
It's swimming, right? This is still all pretty.
It's just happened.
Just happened, right? Yeah. So I think first and foremost is for Roland, which is usually the case, is that he's worried. He wants to make sure that the crew is okay and has their wits about them and all that. I think kind of what's bubbling below that is the kind of manifestation of not really what Roland was worried what we were going to become, but what he foresaw us becoming when we first took on the job to find Agavana. Yeah, and that was kind of like a turning point for us as a crew, and this whole idea that we were living this lie of, we can just be a regular delivery crew, and kind of realizing that that's definitely not the case, and that we need to change our mode overall, and that we are now like a mercenary crew, and that we do have significant enemies that are after us, and that we are capable of a lot. We just proved ourselves to the captain. We just proved ourselves as a competent team of
mercs.
Mercs, or just martial military. We can defend ourselves, and we can do some things that I don't think any of us thought we were going to be doing just a few months ago.
Yeah, I think you all kind of got pushed to your limits and rose to the challenge in this fight.
He's like very proud of his team.
Sure.
And obviously there's some stressors that are there, but those have always been there. We just ignored them for a while, or tried to ignore them. So, but as I said, that's all just kind of swirling in his head. And what's really at the forefront is just like checking in with the crew and making sure that they're okay,
Right. Okay. What about Morgan? How is Morgan feeling about this?
So, Morgan is actually having a few similar thoughts about what we are as a crew. The whole Agavana situation, from just initially saying, yes, okay, sure, we'll go hunt somebody, basically, and then finding out about Agavana and what the actual situation was, and how that was sort of flipped on its head, has Morgan questioning jobs. What are we taking in the future? What is it going to look like? How is it going to affect other people? How is it going to affect the crew? Morgan wants us to be a lot more choosy and be a lot more in depth, because the idea of potentially having taken Agavana and turned her in, like, really messes with Morgan. Like, knowing that it was not her. Like, she wasn't the baddie, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's something that they've been kind of thinking about for a while now. And with all of the tranquility situation, with the adamant scale, I mean, there's so much sort of intrigue going on that they were just unaware of, and not at all what they were wanting, because that's very much like, we were already on a few different people's radar. Now it's like, how are we supposed to fly like under the radar if we're on so many people's radar? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's particularly nerve-wracking to Morgan. They're not trying to amass a fortune. They're not trying to save the universe, essentially, but they are trying to do good while they're living their best life.
Sure. Yeah.
But a lot of this is calling it is making Morgan question a lot of things about how they have been approaching their life in the past few years. So a lot of thoughts rolling around.
Yeah, definitely. What about Vincent? Does Vincent feel like he stepped out of the frying pan into the fire?
Vincent feels like very much like he's been on the receiving end of stuff that's beyond his what he felt was his capabilities. Somebody who actually managed to step out of the frying pan and into the oven, as you had mentioned, but has been able to come out of it. But he also kind of a little bit borrowing from what Emily was saying about like, as far as being choosy about what we handle, because I mean this escalated into a private government affair very quickly, you know, and that is something that Vincent's still kind of in this concept of like, hey, don't get too fucking big for yourself here, because you are like delivery people, and you still are going to be providing that level of service at some point. Are we going to have better weapons? Sure. Are we going to be more capable and have more experience? I mean, use our experience to help survive these situations? Sure. But that doesn't mean that we can be cavalier about this. I'm not saying that we have, but just that we need to, I guess, come together as a unit more. And I think this was a great first step for that. As far as Vincent, I think he's going to try his best to compartmentalize this, but this was kind of a big deal that he can't talk about, I mean, sure, he can talk to his friends, but I mean, or his crew.
Yeah, it's not a war story you can go around telling.
Right,
sure.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Only those who experience know about it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, for him, I think he's reflecting on it, and poor old Vincent, he needs some time to reflect a little bit to process this all this crazy stuff,
Definitely. Okay, what about Gaddy, how, again, you said you didn't even want to talk about it openly,
Yeah, Gadrick's kind of spooked by all of this, and just for later, so I don't forget to say, with the rest of the crew going to the galley, Gadrick's going to tell, just kind of say, I'll be there in a minute, and just kind of sit in the pilot's chair.
Take a moment for himself.
Yeah, because he's got a lot to process for a little mouse man, for Insoki,
For a little mouse man.
Going from a pilot, essentially like a truck driver,
right,
in this universe, for essentially space Amazon. Like, it's he's not sure how to, he doesn't know how to process this.
Yeah.
That living the starting to see, before it was kind of jokey about the seeing and trying to insert himself or pull things from various films that he'd watched, but now seeing himself in a situation that could be that with none of the glamour.
Yeah.
And none of it being, drummed up as like this awesome, wonderful thing. He's kind of scared.
Yeah.
He came in contact with like multiple, unwittingly, multiple secret organizations, secret government organizations, and he's concerned and has no idea how to handle going forward. So he's just sitting in the pilot's chair, hand just kind of idly on the stick, and just looking over the instruments, and just kind of blank.
Yeah.
I feel you there. That kind of feels like something like, you need to have control of something. And just having control of just a ship that you are familiar with, it's familiar territory, something that you know how to do, and it's just like, okay, this will be enough for now.
Yeah, exactly. And he's also going to be and he's not going to be there for long. He's just sitting until he sees the Wintermorn leave. Yeah, he's tracking.
It doesn't take that long.
Sure, but he needs a moment.
Absolutely, most definitely. I think that's right on for Gadrick's headspace. And certainly last but not least, little cinnamon roll Hestia.
I think more than anything. In the sort of aftermath, the hot wash, as you say, of all this, I don't feel super comfortable using that term.
Look it up, dude.
I don't know why. But no, I think more than anything, Hestia is just exhausted. Like, I mean, physically, sure, but also emotionally. Like, I feel like Hestia has kind of spread herself really thin over the course of this whole escapade, trying to look out for everybody else and make sure the worst doesn't happen to her crew and eventually even her friends from the Wintermorn, right? And like, I think she's not really prepared. It's probably fairly common for all of us that we're just in this moment, we're not really prepared to be able to even start unpacking and unwinding everything that this implies and that we've just sort of gotten as revelations. And I think realistically, like, she is willing to, like, okay, whatever, if we need to do a debrief or whatever, that's fine. But she's honestly, like, looking forward to, like, going to bed and, like, the comfort of sleep and some probably private prayers to Hylax and just, like, being alone and shutting her brain down.
Very understandable. So, quick bit of housekeeping. I want everybody to take a dirty 30. Take an inspiration for your excellent work over the last few sessions. I also have in my notes here that I owe Heath 2 inspirations and Adam 1 additional inspiration. So 3 for Heath, 2 for Adam.
Nice.
Everybody else 1. I don't even remember what it was that you did, but I wrote it down, and so I owe them to you. And that's,
well, I know on my end there was some bargaining.
Probably so. Because I literally have Heath 1 inspo, scratched it out, put 2 next to it. So
hey, that means I'm killing the game over here.
So anyway, y'all go ahead and restock on your dirty 30s. You'll want them eventually, I'm sure.
I have so many.
How many do you have?
That puts me to 5.
Okay, that's cap.
I mean, yeah.
Cap is 5, okay?
Establishing that rule.
Yeah.
I think we'd established 3 before, but I pushed over a little bit sometime earlier.
No more than 5. Okay, you can't bank these things like potions in Skyrim.
Well, I had even used some. I had gotten up to like 3 or 4, and then burned a couple over the course of this whole escapade.
Sure. Yeah.
So we're all going to the galley, and Captain notices that Gadrick isn't there, and he kind of asks, "Where's Gadrick?"
That's us all moves over at the bridge.
And Roland kind of takes stock of the crew and sees their faces, and like when you guys first come into the galley, you see that Roland is kind of beaming. But then he sees all of your faces, and he kind of is. I won't say he really becomes crestfallen, but he realizes that he's feeling differently than the rest of his crew. He can just pick that up with some basic intuition, I think. I mean, I have a decent sense motive, and I don't think he knows his crew pretty well at this point, and so. He kind of changes his mode on what he was going to do, and says, "Team, I just... Hestia, can you make sure that I'm heard up at the bridge as well?"
I like to imagine... Wait, where are we at?
In the galley.
Okay. What is a galley, actually?
The kitchen.
That's a kitchen.
Oh, that's a kitchen. Okay.
Yep.
I don't do ships. I pretend to do ships. Yeah, she, like, I feel like she's sitting in, a kitchen chair or whatever, like literally with her legs up, kind of, her arms around her legs in a fetal position kind of thing, and just like taps a little button on her shoulder or whatever. Boop. Done.
As you do, Gadrick walks in.
God damn it.
And beep, turns it right back off.
Turn it off, doesn't echo.
You wanted to see us, Captain?
Yes. I just wanted to say that I was very proud of all of you and how you conducted and handled yourselves when things got hairy. That was not an easy fight, and our victory there should not be taken lightly. But I see exhaustion on all of your faces, and perhaps sense a bit of trepidation, too. So I suggest that perhaps we get some rest, and then we reconvene after a night or two to discuss our future and what our next steps are, and to give you each some time to process some of the information that we were given. But I would like to say, before we do all that you have all proven yourselves as incredible crewmates, and I am thankful for each and every one of you.
Well, for what it's worth, Cap, and Gadrick's a little bit bashful saying this. I don't know. We could have done it without you. So you're doing all right.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Gadrick may as well have just said you are the greatest person that ever lived. In Gadrick speak, you know what I mean? Like, you got to take that compliment and kind of extrapolate on that one.
Yeah, and Hestia just looking run down, like eyes barely open. It's just like, yes, I vomit in your mouth, Captain. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
All right. Well, everyone get some rest. And, I mean, are we safe to hover in this area for the
Yeah.
night?
Okay. I mean, yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
So, yes, I mean...
Hear klaxons outside the ship. Like, you're still too near our holistic prison.
take us up a few more 100 feet. So, yes, in the morning we will, I guess, go restock up on supplies and get the hell out of here.
Actually, before we leave Marixan airspace, I would like to... And you see like a weight of decision in Hestia's tired eyes. It says, I need to return home.
You see Morgan's face fall. Like, what do you mean, Tia? Like, for good.
Are you leaving the crew?
No, there's just something I must do. I have to talk to my mother.
Of course. And Morgan would come over and give you a hug.
Thank you.
Can we do that? I mean, we were just surrounded by Veskarian forces and told to leave. I don't want to take away an opportunity for you to speak with your family, but I certainly don't want to put them in danger either.
Weren't we told to leave the prison? They don't live in the prison.
No, we were told we had to leave the Veskarian,
right?
Can't come back to the Veskarian.
Yeah.
Well, surely we can get our supplies and reorient ourselves before we go near where Tia needs to be. Perhaps. I don't know. Look at the maps, I guess, but...
Yes, no, we will find a way to, yes. We just have to make it quick, and as I said, I don't want to bring any unnecessary heat to your family because of us.
Yes, nor
I'll do my best to remain quiet. I should be able to do it, hopefully without being noticed.
Yes, I would appreciate it. I know this is an inconvenience. However, who's to say if we'll ever be back this way or when we mightn't?
I think that we will not, so whatever you do say to your family, make sure that you say everything that you need to.
Yes, well, if not now, then when?
All right, I will. Give me some coordinates, and I'll get us heading that way.
Tia could certainly provide those coordinates for you. No problem.
Boop, 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 boop.
Boop, boop, you can punch that in. Okay, so you all retire to your quarters, to your bunks. Take you a nice long rest. I mean, if you have anything you need to do now or whatever, go for it, but otherwise, we'll take the long rest. The next morning, Gadrick will set the course based on the coordinates that Tia gives him here on the planet Marixa. So, you start making your way there. And, once you start getting closer, you dive down into the atmosphere and, you're within, you can see the landscape below you, stretching onward. And as you travel across these rolling hills of Marixa, you get about 200 miles or so outside of the capital city of Rajadan. The crew approaches a very unique-looking town in an otherwise rural section of the countryside. Surrounding the town are all kinds of crops and orchards, as well as fields full of slender-necked herd animals, and even a few hairy wallopeds. The town itself stands out among this pastoral landscape due to these round, hive-like structures that are prevalent within its borders. The top of each one coming to a point, like a gigantic onion. The hive buildings appear to each be painted in different colors, making them further contrasted against these more traditional rectangular buildings that make up the rest of the town. There are plain wooden fences ringing the expanse of farmland, and another fence, which is painted white, rings the town proper. A dirt road winds through the fields. It looks to be the town's only primary means of entry. Above the gate in the outer fence, a large sign reads, "Concord. All are welcome." The Independence touches down a short walk away from the outer fences, And as you approach the gate, a brown carapaced Shirin in a wide-brimmed hat and dusty overalls approaches from within, mounted on one of these slender pack animals. So as you're all walking up, he greets you. He says, "Howdy, strangers. As it harms none, I welcome you to the township of Concord. Hylax's blessings And he stops abruptly. "Tia? Is it you? Is that my little bolt twister come back home, or have I been too long under the Merixan sun?"
Yes, Father, of my own will I have returned, and it warms my carapace to see you.
Oh, thank the Forever Queen! It's been, well, forever! How are you? Look at you! I can hardly believe it's you! You truly have evolved, Tia. Please come in, let me get the gate for you. Who are your friends?
Yes, well, this is my friend and captain, Roland. Gestures towards Roland. This is Morgan.
Hello, it's so nice to meet you.
Gadrick.
Hey, I love this place. It's beautiful.
And Vincent.
Oh, hi.
Yes, these are my friends.
Yeah.
Also, I really, really like your hat. A lot.
Oh, thank you very much. We made it here in the village.
I'm gonna have to get me one of them.
You should. He introduces himself to you all as Festis, Tia's father. And, he shakes all your hands, greets you warmly, and he's, leading you into town,
It's, Father, it warms my heart to see you again after all this time, but I must speak with Mother.
Festus sighs a little bit, and he says, "Yeah, I assumed as much. I was honestly surprised it took you this long. Tia, your mother hasn't been herself. Come with me. We can go see your host parent and talk all about this before you make your way to the temple." So, Festus will lead you all into one of these hive mound shops on the outskirts of the town. There's a sign outside of the shop that says, "Forever Brew, Herbal Tea House." And as the crew of the Independents follow Festus into this hexagonal central area of the tea shop, the smells of lemon and honey kind of overwhelm you and infusing the air and creating this relaxing environment. You hear Festus say, "Matiz, I've got someone here who needs to speak with you." And you hear a voice, "I'm in the back room. Come join me. I just took the kettle off the burner." Festus leads you all past the shop's foyer and into another hexagonal room beyond the counter. Seated at a small square table, holding a steaming cup of delicious-smelling tea, sits an aged green Shirin in light breezy cloths of purple and blue. Her large eyes are staring beyond the walls of the room. As Festus enters the room, she turns her head slightly towards him, listening, not watching. Her large Shirin eyes have faded to a muted gray. Matiz is blind. Festus says, "Matiz, you won't believe who's here. It's Hestia." At this point, I think Hestia probably nudges past him to approach her host parent, who she hasn't seen in years.
Yep. Honored host parent, of my own will, I have returned to Concord, both out of a longing to see you and Father, and Hestia sighs as well, but also to rectify the conflict that remains a source of shame to this community. And so I need to speak with Mother.
"Hestia, my sweet larva, sit down. Have a cup of tea. We have things to discuss. Yes, the rest of you too. I can hear your shuffling feet. Come, have a seat at the table or on the sofa. Any friend of Tia's is welcome in my shop. Exile be damned. Festus, would you be a dear and fetch cups for our guests? Naturally, Festus fetches an assortment of brightly colored mugs and pours the party steaming hot mugs of tea, passing them around to each of you. Matiz gently places her green hands in Tia's yellow ones. She says, "This community owes you a great debt. Celadon fever caught us all off guard. We didn't have the technology or expertise to combat it, and the corporations that did charge so much that we were only able to procure the smallest amount of the vaccine. It helped the lucky few, but we needed herd immunity, and with the price so high, that was simply not possible. If not for your action, Tia, this community would not be here today. However, I fear your mother has lost sight of that fact. Your mother... She has always had to balance the teachings of Hylax against the protection of her people. Whether fair or not, she believes you have done great harm to the reputation of the Shirin people here on Marixa. Even before your incident, she was growing paranoid. She always feared that prejudice could jeopardize the life that we have built here."
Post-parent Metiz. When I decided to come here, I honestly wasn't sure why. I think it was mostly out of longing, out of sentimentality. I missed you, and father, and even mother, and the home I had lost. But I have decided what must be done, come good or ill. I need her to hear me. I need her to understand.
And I want nothing more than a reconciliation between you and your mother. But I must warn you, your mother has evolved, and not into a kinder person. There has been a coldness in her since your incident. I just don't want to get your hopes up that all will be set right, especially concerning your exile.
I understand that I deserved punishment, but I also deserve to be a part of the community that birthed me. If she can't see that, then I have to try to make her understand. And she deserves to hear my reasons from my own mandibles.
At that, Festis speaks up, and he says, "I reckon you've got a point there. Well, no point putting it off. You and your friends take a moment, finish your tea, and we'll walk you over to the temple." So, I mean, you can all certainly finish your tea. It is delicious.
This is so lovely. I'd love to get the blend. Is there... And, like, Morgan would be trying to, like, talk to the... the father, like, basically about the tea and trying keeping one ear open, you know?
You know, I mean, he would be, you know, more or less saying, "It don't have anything to do with me. This is all Matiz's shop. They're the tea genius, if you will."
Yeah, and mentally, Morgan, you hear, yes, he's an engineer. She is a tea shop owner.
I just didn't want to interrupt you. You hear back mentally. But yeah, no, Morgan would definitely be into the tea situation. But
yeah. So, you know, after you finish your cups, Festus stands, and Metis stands as well, and you all start making your way back outside, and, you know, just begin to walk. The village is not exactly, like, large. It's a very walkable village. So as you all make your way into town, Hestia walks between Festus and Metis, each parent holding one of her hands. Metz's cane taps rhythmically on the ground as the crew of the Independence follows the three Shirin towards the direct center of town. There, the Temple of Hylax looms over the surrounding buildings, the tallest of these onion-shaped hive structures. As you approach the entrance, a robed Shirin looks surprised as the group approaches. Festus smiles amiably and says, "Good day! May the blessings of Hylax rain down upon you." And this surprised Shirin says, I vomit in your mouth." And Festus says, "And I in yours. As it harms none, my daughter here needs to speak with the High Priestess." And the other Shirin says, Yes, of course. Wait, just a moment." Tia, you look nervously to each of your parents and then to the crew. Take a deep breath to calm yourself. A few moments later, the Shirin that greeted you returns. "The High Priestess has asked to speak with her daughter alone." Festus says, "Swarm that! She can speak with all three of us!"
It's all right, Father. This is for the best. Father, host parent, Roland, my friends, I'll be back shortly.
Okay. A few moments later, Tia enters the sanctum of the Church of Hylax. When Tia was younger, this hexagonal room felt cavernous. The sanctum is the heart of the Hive Church, its roof coming to a point far above the tip of the onion. It was the height that had seemed so impressive in her youth. Now it feels almost cozy, even a bit claustrophobic. 4 of the hexagon's walls contain shrines to the Forever Queen, statues carved in the stone of the walls. In front of each, several candles burn slowly, providing a soft, comforting light. Hestia's mother is kneeling in front of the shrine carved into the wall, directly opposite the door that she just entered. The door closes behind Tia. After a long, silent moment, High Priestess Vesta Hylaxia stands to face her daughter. "So, my wayward daughter returns unbidden. Why are you here, child?"
Mother, I did not come home to quarrel with you. I just need you to understand.
Understand what? That if not for you, Celadon fever would have ended us all? Spare me your self-righteousness. You are a criminal. I don't care what your police record says or doesn't say. And who is this scum you've brought with you? More criminals to profane the halls of this holy place?
Mother, the people that came with me, they are my friends. Without them, I never would have had the courage to face you, to bear your hatred.
At that, Vesta's face softens, but only for an instant, before the flame returns to her black eyes. Hestia, my daughter, I do not hate you.
You don't?
No, child. I am ashamed of you. Hestia, I had always hoped that you would follow me into the church. I saw so much of myself in you. When you graduated from Sundaratu University, I was the proudest mother on Narixa. When you were accepted into the Rajadan Military Academy, I had my concerns. I never wanted a military life for you, but I was still proud of your accomplishments. When you were arrested, I wept for the Shirin you could have become, for the life you threw away. My daughter, a smuggler. It was more than I could bear. I did what I had to, what was best for this community. I banished you to protect Concord. Your actions, however well-intentioned, endangered the reputation of this community, of all Shirin on Narixa.
I never meant to cause you pain, Mother.
Vesta's eyes soften again, now looking almost hopeful. Is that why you've come back? For atonement?
No.
Then why come back? You have defied me, broken your exile, just as you broke the laws of the Pact Worlds and the Marixa Republic. Does the law mean nothing to you?
The law? You pretend this is about the law? Is it not the law that allows for corporations to inflate the cost of life-saving medicines? Is it not the law that allows for a system in which the small and unimportant are trampled for the greed of a few? I did not come home to beg for your forgiveness. That is between me and Hylax. I came home because I wanted you to hear it from me. Everything that I did for love of this community. I committed illegal acts. This is a fact. But I would do so again 1,000 times to save the people that I love, to save my home. And if you will not accept me because of my past, then perhaps you were so worried about your precious reputation that you have lost sight of the teachings of Hylax. One of the greatest sins against Hylax is to turn your back on a loved one.
I know the doctrine, Hestia. I am a high priestess of Hylax. I lead her children. It is my duty to look after them and to protect them from the dangers of the outside world. The Marixans were already inclined to mistrust us because of our faith. And because of you, now they think us thieves and criminals.
Mother, listen to yourself. You sound more like a politician than a priestess. Protecting your flock of followers from the scary outside world. Is isolationism a new tenet of our faith?
I will not be disrespected in the sanctum of the Forever Queen. I have worked my entire life to do what is best for Concord.
This town is a community of individuals, yet you treat them as though they share one will, one mind. You don't want what's best for our community. You simply want them to conform for the sake of safety. Mother, do you know why I chose to join the Rajadan Military Academy? I was always taught that if an individual is worse off within a particular society than they would be outside of it, that Hylax would guide that person to a new collective where they can contribute and be supported.
What are you saying, Tia?
Mother, I am saying that you have done an admirable job of keeping Concord safe. But safe wasn't what I ever needed. I needed adventure. I needed to be in that scary outside world, learning new skills, meeting new people. I needed to express myself as an individual, not just as a child of Hylax, not just as a resident of Concord, and not just as the daughter of the High Priestess. I needed to learn to be me. Even before my crime, I was looking for a way out. I cannot say the route that Hylax chose for me was an easy one, but the Forever Queen did guide me to a new community, one that accepts me for who I am.
Vesta's face looks filled with anger and pain. She says, "Get out! Leave this holy place."
If you have need of me, Mother, you can reach me on the Independence. Goodbye. We have evolved.
And we'll see you.
God.
Juan, take that back. They need a hug.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think it is.